So, how obnoxiously obsessed am I with Darkdawn? This book completely wrecked me. It's so amazing. I think I'm ready. Am I ready? I'm ready, yes. Hello, you guys. So I am so excited because today is a great day. Today is the day I am finally going to read one of my most anticipated releases of the year, Darkdawn by Jay Kristoff. I'm so excited! I'm so excited. So this just came out yesterday. Today is September 4th, and it took all day long yesterday to track this book down. I went to 5 different bookstores, but nobody had it in stock, and it was so frustrating. I eventually had to call, and 45 minutes away from me was a bookstore, and they had 1 copy left. And I asked if they would reserve it for me, and they did, and I drove all the way down there to get it because I don't want to wait for Amazon. I just want to read it now. And I'm so excited. You know, a lot of people have been shading the US covers for this series, and while I think the UK editions are gorgeous, I'm actually really into this cover. This is so pretty. And I feel like I'm really picky with covers too. Wait, this is signed? It says it's signed. No! Oh my God. This is signed! Oh no! I'm so happy. I've been wanting to read this for such a long time. I'm ready. I'm ready. I think I'm ready. Am I ready? I'm ready, yes. The cliffhanger on God's grave left me with the biggest book hangover and the biggest, like, it was just like the plot twist blew my mind, unlike any plot twist, I don't know, that I've read in a really long time. So if you are unfamiliar with the series, just a very brief synopsis. It's really important that you know that this is adult. This is adult fantasy. I've seen some people accidentally say that it's YA, and I don't want anyone to go into the series thinking that it's something that it's not, because it's extremely graphic and very violent. If you know that going in, there you go. Nevernight is about a girl named Mia Corvair who seeks revenge on her family after they have been wrongfully murdered. And she ends up going to this assassin school where she tries to train and learn how to become the best killer on the planet. And it's really awesome. It's like, it's so good. I can't explain. It's really good. This series is definitely not for everyone, and I know that as well. You're either gonna love this or you're really not gonna like it at all. However, I happen to love it. So I wanted to remember my experience reading this with recording a vlog. There will be no spoilers while I'm vlogging because just in case, like, it's just so new. I don't want to spoil it for anyone. So everything will be very vague, but I really wanted to kind of keep this almost for myself. I haven't been this excited for a new release basically since Harry Potter came out. So yeah, I'm really excited. So today we are going to be reading this. There will be no spoilers while I'm reading. So with that, let's start and read Darkdawn by Jay Kristoff. Okay, so I just got in my car. I'm so excited, and I think that I'm going to actually go out of my house to read so that I can really like focus on Darkdawn. I'm so excited about it. I can't even tell you. So we're gonna go to a coffee shop. I can't be there for as long as I want to be there because I have class at 6:30 tonight, and I need to come back a little early to finish up an article. I did read a lot of stuff for class, like in preparation for our homework. We had a book that we had to read that was over 164 pages long. We had to read 5 very specific picture books with like annotated notes and things. And then we had 3 articles, and each one was over 20 pages long. I think one was really long. I managed to do everything except for finishing 1 article, so I need to come back early to finish that with like notes and things, because I like to be part of the discussion just so that the professor like knows that I've read everything with detailed notes and things like that. Otherwise I'm paranoid, and I think that she doesn't think that I'm doing the homework. And I always do my homework because I am a Hermione stan. But moving on to the book, I am so excited. Let's go and let's read the book. I can't wait. Honestly, thinking about the fact that this is the conclusion to a trilogy that has meant so much to me is just making me really emotional. I don't know, like I feel like it means a lot to me. I feel like it means a lot to a lot of people. It's so well done that in a weird way, even though I'm like more excited to read it than ever before, I almost want to put it off because I know it's the last book and I'm not really ready to say goodbye to Mia Corvair or Ashlyn or any of the people who I've become really close with over the last 2 books. But yeah, I'm not gonna think about that because it's a long book. So we've got a long ways to go before I have to say goodbye. That's so dramatic, isn't it? I'm being way too, I'm a Leo, so. Okay, let's go to the coffee shop.
Stare into the sun, moments holding on, and we hold our breath, close enough to burn, but I never learn, try to make it last. Could it be different? Could we be different? 'Cause the night's so young, 'cause the night's so young, so young. I will try. I know this heart has been broken so many times, and I will try until I found another heart that beats like mine. When it's so said and done, you say you wanna run. Could you keep my pace? Close enough to show. Gotta let it go before it's too late. Could it be different? Could we be different? 'Cause the night's so young, 'cause the night's so young, so young. I will try. I know this heart has been broken so many times.
Hello, so I just got home. I read the first chapter and I love it. I remembered, okay, so I just finished this book like not even 5 months ago, I don't think. But even in the first chapter, there's so much that I forgot had happened. And I'm like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And just, it's so good. So I'm back here. It's about 5 o'clock now. I got back a little later than I wanted, but the traffic was really bad getting home. So I think what I'm gonna do is kind of clean up my desk a little bit and then get out all of my homework from the week and kind of review it and make some notes as to things that I wanna discuss in class. All of my classes are online, so I've got to get everything kind of set up. And then I'm going to try to skim as much of the article that I didn't read as possible, and then I'll just read the rest after class. And then I'll go back to Darkdawn because it's all I can think about.
I really appreciate it. With libraries, but I think sometimes it does. I was just kind of starting from the ground up. But let's look at either, you can pick from either illustrations or text. We'll come back to that one since you all are analyzing that. But then we also have from my friend Rabbit here. Look at the motion.
Hello! So I just had a really, really fun class. So it is 9:15. We got out a little early. I think I'm gonna make myself a little bit of tea and just go straight into Darkdawn because I can't wait anymore. I am tired, but I don't care. Like, I need to read as much as possible because I just do. That's where I'm at in life. So let's go make some tea and let's go see what Mia Corvair is up to.
I'm so good at pretending, keep on smiling in my tiny bubble, like a movie without ending, spending time like it was going backwards. Posters covering our walls, but they fall down, diving deeper in the books that we read blind, breathing in and breathing out to get smarter.
I think I have reached my limit for tonight because I am so tired that it's hard to keep my eyes open, and I don't want to miss anything that's happening. Like, I want to be really, really, really present. Okay, so remember, I'm not going to do any spoilers, but I do have like a lot to say that will be non-spoilery. Jay Kristoff is such a master at just keeping the reader engagement up. Like, so many other authors, I think, do a great job at like building backstory and anticipation and all that other stuff. But Jay Kristoff, he just throws the reader in. I just immediately like am there in the action. And it's just been non-stop amazing action for, I don't know, however many pages I've been reading. It's so amazing. My attention is at full 100. Like, I don't want to miss anything. That's how good his writing is. I also have to say that I am so blown away by his mastery at like all of the elements. I am holding my breath the entire time I'm reading because the action is so good and everything is so intense. And then he throws in one of the most funny lines I've ever read. And he does that like every few pages. There's just like this awesome break from the tension with comedy. Like, the tension remains high and the stakes remain incredibly high. I think a lot of writers take a break from the tension of like their peak by kind of doing like, I don't know, a little bit of build and a little bit of backstory, and then like here's an action scene, and then we have like a lull for a little bit, and then here's another action scene. But Jay Kristoff, his tension breaks are humor. So like, you stay in the action and the tension remains high and the stakes remain high the entire time, and then the way the reader gets a little bit of a break is through comedy. And it's just brilliant because my attention like never wavers. Like, I'm so engaged. It's so exciting. It's so well done. I don't want to stop reading. Like, I'm so tired. If I wasn't this tired, I just would stay up all night long because it's so good. And I really don't want to stop reading, but I'm really tired and I don't want to miss anything. So I guess that's my update for right now. I'm gonna go to sleep, and then I guess I will pick up tomorrow where I've kind of left off. I will say though, I've only read this much, and I already really love the story, so I'm so happy. That's it for my update right now. I guess I will catch you guys tomorrow. Good morning. So I have just made myself some coffee. Sorry there were no aesthetic shots of the coffee. It's just plain coffee. I feel like I should put you down somewhere, but that's okay. I have my coffee, and literally all I want to do is read this book. So we're gonna do that before I do anything else. I am filming a video today, which is why I have like my hair done and everything, but I won't be able to focus until I read at least another chunk of this book because it's so good. And I'm completely obsessed, if you can't tell. So I'm gonna do that now, and I will fill you in. This coffee isn't bad, but it could be better. Sucks for you. Ah. Oh my god. I forgot about that. I forgot about that. Well, so no spoilers, but Jay Kristoff is kind of in a weird way making fun of himself in this book. And like, I'm so dead. Like, he's so funny. I cannot. I like the mastery. This book just got so meta. I cannot. I absolutely cannot. I stand so hard. So I had to collect myself for a second because things were getting very intense. There are just so many layers to this book. I go from like cheering on the main character to being really scared to laughing out loud to thinking that a plot twist is super meta to crying over injustice issues that affect real people. And Jay Kristoff is definitely one of my favorite writers. I think that it can be arguably said that he is one of the best writers of the modern, like of today. Just like the depth and the levels in his works, whether you stan fantasy or not, my mind is just constantly blown from reading this book. There's just like so much to unpack. It's just so brilliant. I'm emotional. Okay. All right, let's keep reading. Hi. So this is my update. I am on chapter 14. So still have a long ways to go, and I'm loving it so much. It's so good. It's just so good. I keep saying like, let me just read like 20 more pages and then I will fill my book haul. Let me do like 20 more pages and then I'll fill my book haul. But honestly, I just want to keep reading. So, I mean, I feel bad because I definitely do need to film that, but I don't want to stop reading. I can't stop reading this. I think I'm going to try to get to like maybe 100, so maybe like chapter 17. I think I'm going to try to get to chapter 17. Well, then maybe I should just do chapter 20. I think I'm going to pause this for a second just to do my book haul, but I don't want to. Because it's so good. It's so good. So, how obnoxiously obsessed am I with Darkdawn? Well, gentle friends, I bought the audiobook just so that I didn't have to stop reading it just because I was driving. So, with that being said, let's continue Mia's story.
So hard to see from the moment we arrive.
Okay, I'm going to tell you a quote that I now am completely obsessed with from Darkdawn, but the quote is, "Don't with librarians, young lady. They know the power of words." As a librarian grad student and a former librarian, we stand. Now I want that tattooed somewhere on my body. So I've gone ahead and done the first round of edits for this video. I don't know how everybody else edits their videos on YouTube, but I do a couple different rounds of edits. Usually I do the first one, which gets it down to like about the time that I want it. And then the second round I call my aesthetics round, which is where I like write in usually like the book titles and I add sound effects and swoops and like transitions and things. And then the third watch through is kind of where I look for any mistakes. I usually do my thumbnail, and then if I'm going to add music, that's when I kind of figure out if I want to do that or if I just want to leave it without any music on. I think that music and videos can actually add to the aesthetic, but it just depends on like my mood as to whether or not it fits the video and if I think it fits, if it works or not. So unfortunately I won't be reading any more of Darkdawn tonight. That's my update, I guess, for now. I guess I will finish reading it tomorrow. Maybe I'll finish the book tomorrow. I don't actually know, because I am more than halfway done now. And yeah, it's really good. Okay, so I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Good morning, internet friends. So it's the next day and I am loving Darkdawn so much. I did read a little bit more than the last time that we have chatted because I listened to the audiobook while I was doing my makeup and then kind of doing some like house chores today. So I don't have that much longer. The audiobook says I have about 6 hours left, although I am going to mostly be reading the physical copy. I think what I'm gonna do is go get some brunch because it's Friday. It's not too late. And then while I'm out, I'm going to basically be reading a lot of the book. But I think today is going to be the last day that I read Darkdawn. I have mixed feelings about it, but I really can't wait to see how it ends. So this is totally hilarious and so on brand for me. I left the house to read and I forgot the book, which I don't know how that happened. I think it's in my car because I remember leaving with the book, but whatever. So now I'm just going to be listening to it while I eat on my audio. Thank God I like bought it on my phone.
I leave the TV on, I'm done with your sad eyes. I can take another night with you on like this. So let's go, I'm sure you can take it. You've been crying over him for a lifetime. So if you don't mind, we will dance till it's way past sleep. Another course that we can fly with the baseline. Boys be boys, ain't no excuse, babe. Now hey you, oh hey you, I know you can find someone better. Oh hey you, oh hey you.
Hi friends. Okay, so I just got home and I am talking to some of my besties on Voxer. I have been really neglecting Voxer for a while just because I've been focusing on this book, but I am talking to my friend Allie and we're talking about how there's a quote that I really would totally want tattooed on my body, and I said the quote in this vlog. I'm gonna ask her if while she's reading she can figure out which quote specifically is the one I want tattooed on me. Okay, Allie, I'm putting this in my vlog, by the way. While you are reading Darkdawn, there's like lots of words and lots of quotes, but I'm curious. Try to guess the quote out of the entire like 500+ page book that I was specifically referring to as I loved it so much I want it tattooed. I bet you'll get it. I want to see if she'll actually get it. It's kind of later. I'm really tired. I think I'm just gonna kind of lay down and hang out with my dogs and my cat and sip some lemonade and listen to some of Darkdawn until I can like wake up enough to pick up the physical copy and read it. Drinking lemonade today. And tea. So an Arnold Palmer. Hello, spooky friends. So I just finished Darkdawn. And by just, I mean I finished it like 3 or 4 days ago. Also, if you're thinking to yourself, her nails got longer and her hair got shorter, you would be correct. I got a haircut and I probably chopped off, see, it was like past my boobs. So I don't know how much that is. It's like it's a good chunk, but anyways, yes, okay. So again, like this vlog will remain spoiler free because I want everyone to like be able to enjoy the vlogs that I make, even if you haven't read the series. This book completely wrecked me. It was so well done. This entire series is definitely a 5 out of 5 stars for me. If you are considering picking this series up at all, please let this be the sign from the universe that you are seeking that says you need to go pick up this series. It's so good. Jay Kristoff just did such a masterful job. And I will say, like, reading this last book has inspired me so much to do just better in my life. You know what I mean? I don't want to get like too deep or too into it, but we see this girl, Mia, and she just has a purpose and she has a driving force. And through this entire series, nothing can stop her. You know what I mean? And that kind of focus and that kind of passion is just, it's contagious. You read about Mia Corvair and you read about how kick-ass she is. And even though you know she's fictional, you kind of just can't help but want to be a little bit like her. And I think also equally inspiring is Jay Kristoff. Can you imagine writing this? Can you imagine the brilliance, but also just like the passion that went into this book? You read this and you feel his love for this world. I know that he probably spent countless days without sleep to perfect this. Weeks and months of just planning and dreaming and working his ass off so that this series can impact readers all across the entire world. Jay Kristoff, I think, is Australian, I believe. And here I am in America reading this book. I was crying at like 3 a.m. finishing this up. One man's words from across the world has completely impacted my life forever. And that is just the most amazing thing in the entire world. Writers are dreamers who put their dreams to paper so that we can be in their dreams with them. You know what I mean? It's just, there's something so magical and just inspiring about really wonderful writing. And you can't help but just admire the writers behind the words. And so reading this has just kind of ignited my passion to figure out like, okay, I really want to be a writer. Like, how can I make it happen? And I have all of these different goals and things. I'm going to use Mia Corvair as like a huge inspiration because she is inspiring. The fact that she does not take any crap from anyone and she just goes after what she wants is just amazing. Oh my God, she is an incredible character. I love her. I love her so much. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the book without some spoilers. So there's a couple of things that we learn right off the bat in this book, or not right off the bat, but in this book that are questions that you might have yourself if you're reading this series. Again, we're not going to do any spoilers. The entire book is narrated by an unknown narrator who often writes a lot of footnotes and makes fun of themselves a lot, and also has like lots of commentary on the world and is very snarky. And we learn in this book who narrates these 3 books. And I have to say, I thought it was going to be somebody else, and I was very surprised to find out who it was, but it fits really well. I actually saw in an interview too by Jay Kristoff that he had envisioned a different narrator, but this narrator kind of like fit a lot better as the series went on, and he knew in this book like who it was going to be. So I thought that was really fun to read, and especially like after reading this and then seeing the interview, like it was cool to see like how all of the pieces fit together. Oh, another thing. Do you remember when I was like, let's see if Allie can get the quote? So I told Allie that there's a quote in here that I love so much that I would totally get tattooed on me or something like that. So she actually boxered me back. This is hilarious.
Okay, Lexi, I think I know which quote it was you're talking about. If I'm tapped into your brain, ESP, as well as I think I am. So I'm thinking that the quote that you were thinking was, don't with librarians, young lady. We know the power of words.
She got the quote. And just for context, this book is like almost 500 pages. So out of this entire book, she got the one quote that I was like, I love that quote, and I would get it tattooed. So bravo for Allie. Again, without any spoilers, I'd like to talk a little bit about the romance in this series. I'm not gonna say who it's between or any of that stuff. It's just gonna be like very vague in general. But one thing that I love also about Jay Kristoff is that I love that he shows that his characters are strong, badass killers capable of, you know, some of the most ingenious forms of murder. And yet how in love and in romance, they can become some of the most soft characters ever. I also love how it's been a little bit of a slow build-up. I don't actually mind insta-love as much as some other people, but I love how the series also was about taking down walls and about the process of falling in love, and how sometimes one person loves you and it takes a second before you realize that you like them back. And I love how in the relationships and everything, we just got healthy relationships. I think a lot of books and the media can glamorize dysfunctional and unhealthy relationships. There can be this weird preconceived notion that, like, in order for love to work, it has to be hard between two people. And I love that Jay Kristoff showed that life is hard, but love doesn't always have to be. But yeah, I just loved his portrayal of love in here. I loved how healthy it was. I loved how different the characters were. I just loved everything about it. I thought it was really refreshing to read that Mia's life was hard, but that the people that she loved always had her back. I think that can be really rare and really, really hard to find. And I love it when I read about that stuff in literature. It always makes me really happy to see people being supported and loved for who they are. Like, this book was so wonderful in every single way. I also loved a lot of the concepts in this book specifically. I loved a lot of the messages. There were a lot of really intense, very metaphorical messages about things that I can't tell you about. I might do like a spoiler-y review of this book, maybe. Maybe I'll do that, because there is a lot that I want to talk about that I think Jay Kristoff kind of said in between the lines that was brilliant and that I think can be used in so many different areas of life, and I think will help so many different people. Just lots and lots of commentary on things that I can't tell you. I think one thing though that I can mention, because it's throughout the series, it's not just in this book, and it's not going to be like specifically about any characters, was how your family is your family, but also that they are not perfect, and that you can build your family if you don't come from a good one. So I love this because it showed families that were created with friendships, it showed dysfunctional families, it showed families that lied, it showed adopted families, it showed that you can be somebody's family member without sharing their blood, it showed that even blood families can sometimes be the most toxic. Like, there was a lot of commentary specifically on families in this entire series, and I thought all of the conversations about families were really well done and really well thought out and just brilliant and really wonderful to read. There were moments that I read that tore my heart apart and made me feel so much sadness and grief for these characters, and then there were moments that made me feel so emotional because there were people who were loved unconditionally by strangers and by friends and by lovers and boyfriends and girlfriends, that just was literally unconditional, so loyal. And it's so wonderful to read about these things because, I don't know, it's refreshing to read about love in its pure form, because I think we know that it's rare, right? I think we know that it's rare to find all of these people who like have your back and who love you unconditionally. It's just heartwarming and beautiful and emotional, and I loved it so much. This series was a 5 out of 5 stars. I think the hardest part now is that after this vlog, the series is just done, and I can always revisit it, but nothing is quite like the first time reading, you know, the conclusion to your favorite series. So I'm a little emotional still. I was very emotional when I finished it, but it was brilliant. No spoilers, but the ending was a 5 out of 5 star. We also hear as the reader, the first page, I think in Nevernight, how it's gonna end for Mia Corvair. So as the reader reading this entire series, we know how it's gonna end. We just don't know how Jay Kristoff is going to end it. And the way he ended it was so poetic and beautiful. And even though I knew how it was gonna end, unexpected and just great. It was so great. This book, yeah. It's so good. So yeah, that is my spoiler-free vlog for Darkdawn. If you've read this, let's talk about it. Please chat me up in the comments or DM me, because I want to talk about this book with people. I want to talk about the spoilery stuff too. And if you're interested in a spoilery discussion video, let me know too. But anyways, okay, so that's it for my Darkdawn reading vlog. Thank you so much for watching. Please pick up the series. You're not gonna regret it. It's so good. I love you so much. And until next time, book lovers, keep your head in the clouds and your heart in a book. And I will talk to you later. Bye.